Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the Silburn Show. I'm your host, Silburn Sidil, and today we've got an exciting program. We've got two guests. First, we got Salam Wayne Baxter, the director of Root2tip UK Natural Hair and the founder of the Hair Education, and I correct myself, not Hair Education, Hair Education Company. Let's welcome our first guest, Sal, director of the UK's natural hair care brand Root2tip and founder of the Hair Education Academy. Sal.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Fantastic.
Finally.
Well, I'm glad that you're here.
Me too.
Because I need some hair.
Okay.
So can the Hair Education Academy give me hair?
Maybe. Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. Well, anything is possible. Well, tell us firstly, tell us about your company and what is it that you do?
Well, I manufacture natural hair care products that I formulated in my kitchen between 4 and 6 years ago after suffering with hair loss. So we make natural hair care products for the whole family, men, women, children, and we specialize in making products that stimulate hair growth and just make mixed race and afro hair textures more manageable, more healthy, encourage the hair to grow, and just to maintain good hair, really.
You mentioned your family.
Yes.
So it was like a family thing before?
Yeah, it was. I started it myself after having hair loss. My story in brief is I had a hair loss issue.
Yes.
And I had a really bad scalp condition called seborrheic dermatitis, which is kind of like the adult form of cradle cap that baby has. So I had lots of scaling on the scalp and my hair would flake away with it. It was that bad. So having been to my doctors, I couldn't find any real resolution for the problem. So I turned to the internet and I began to research ferociously into natural ingredients, extracts, herbs to try and find myself a cure. And I became a guinea pig for my own self. And before I knew it, my hair was growing back on this little oil that I'd made up. And I took pictures of my hair growth. And I managed to grow my hair to waist length, cut it again, and I realized that you can grow your hair. We can have great hair if we know to use natural ingredients and if we focus on the right practice in terms of our hair. I just became obsessed with anything to do with hair.
So is that a message to bald head men that you can practice and grow properly?
If it's not genetic.
Okay.
I get that all the time.
But even though you mentioned about the scalp factor before that prompted you, but you were building your career, you're a lawyer.
Yeah,
and then you switched.
Yeah, I was on the road to being a barrister or a solicitor. I wasn't sure, but I was working in a law firm and I kind of just got I always wanted to have my own law practice, so I always wanted to have my own business.
That was the plan?
Yeah, that was the plan. My mum, she was an entrepreneur and I always knew that I was going to go down that road, but I thought, I'm going to do law, I love law. And I got lots of practice within the law industry. I was a clerk whilst at college and uni. I worked in legal aid firms and barristers, so I kind of knew how the legal field works. I thought, I'm going to do that. I was on the road to that since age 11. I knew I was going to be a barrister or solicitor. And I had written that down since age 11. And I was on that road until I got to, like, say, 22, 23, and I realized, I'm not sure about this anymore.
Right,
I think I need to do my own thing now. I was working for a firm, and I kind of thought that I need to be in more control of what I'm earning now.
Right.
And I was, months away from sort of like a training contract on the table. And I thought, I'm going to step out and do my own thing. And
so you felt that the legal fraternity wasn't where you wanted to be, more natural hair and natural what you do best.
Do you know what? I didn't do hair at all then. I had no idea about hair. That came a few years later. I actually started out with a catering company. My mother and my partner and I owned called Smooth. So we used to make smoothies and juice and exotic foods like from South America. I'm half Guyanese and half Jamaican. So we do things like roti wraps and, plantain and stuffed prawns for, business conferences and things like that. So I always had a business tenacity, but it was nothing to do with hair.
Well, in our introduction, when we introduced you, we say you created you got this Hair Education Academy.
Hair education.
Hair
Everyone
education.
gets that fun.
You see, I always keep getting mixed up. That's why I'm so glad you're here, because instead of us keep going over and over again, you just clarify.
It's a tongue twister.
Yeah, Hair Education Academy.
Yes.
Or hair?
It's hair education. So take away the ed, from education to put hair in the front. It's hair education.
You heard
Yeah.
that. Take
Hair
away.
education.
Don't mix it up, okay? Don't be like me. So that was to address the lack of information available to those with Afro and mixed race.
Yes.
Then tell me exactly how hair education is exactly.
Hair education is basically giving people the tools
Yes.
and the knowledge to be able to look after their hair the best way they can.
Yes.
So, for example, you might speak to a little girl who's maybe 10 and say to her, do you know you can grow your hair down your back? And she'll say, no, I can't. I've always had short hair. So it's giving them the tools and the knowledge to maintain their natural hair and,
Yes.
and a new mindset in regards to how they see their hair. So I sprinkle in a bit of science, hair science, not too much, and hair practices. I dispel a lot of myths in my workshops and seminars. For example, you have to use hair grease, for example, or
Yes.
you shouldn't wash your hair only maybe once a month, once every 6 weeks. And I dispel a lot of myths and I show people how they can actually achieve
Yes.
their hair goals, essentially.
That's very interesting. You said children at 10 years of age, is what
Yeah.
you said. So therefore, just going to show you a quick clip, which is going across the screen now. You see a little girl. That's your daughter, isn't it?
Yes.
And she's what? How old is she?
She just turned 10.
Wow. So it's a family thing now,
It's
isn't
a family thing, and I started making products for her when she was quite young. I grew her hair to waist length by the age of, say, 5,
Yes.
after discovering all the knowledge that I had. And I
Yes.
realised if I make her a confident person about
Yes.
her hair, which is, hair is important to everybody. You
Yes.
keep mentioning to me about some hair growth solution for yourself. So hair growth is, hair essentially is important to us all. If I can make my child a confident person in regards to her hair and how
Yes.
she looks and feels, she can do anything in life.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to maybe in the future have your daughter on the sofa as well.
Definitely, I think
Once
you
you give
will.
us permission and we're all CRB checked. But anyhow, you have managed to break into the business sector traditionally, which is dominated by huge global companies. And how would you say you were able to achieve this? And at the backdrop of it at the same time, if you recall, we had a previous guest, which is Mr. Tony Wade from
Yes.
the past, who had broken into the hair industry.
Yeah.
How do you see a comparison to that, if anything? You know Mr. Wade, don't
Yes,
you?
I read his book,
Dry Can
How He
Dry,
Made
yes.
a Million. It was really, really interesting, and
Yes.
it was quite spiritual for me because a lot of things he's done has been through in regards to he does hair. I think he did a bit of hair education too,
Yes.
and it was quite similar to what I do. But I think there's a lot of similarities in regards to seeing a mass market and trying to supply a demand of a quality product to them. I think
Yes.
it's for me personally, it was never on my agenda, but it was brought to me through having my own hair loss issue.
Right.
Because I went to my shops and couldn't find anything to solve my problem, my hair loss problem, and to help me maintain my hair naturally, using natural ingredients, I created my own. And I think a lot of the products often came from America. So I used to buy, when I was younger, I used to work for McDonald's when I was like 15.
Right.
And I always spent a lot of money on hair products. And I recall myself spending like £15 on a conditioner at age 15. And I always tried to find the best quality ingredients. I didn't care about the cost.
So that is where the dissatisfaction and the apathy, which was permeating within the society on maybe black people more.
Yeah.
So therefore you became that sort of voice
Yeah,
to fix it, if anything, which is your agenda.
Yeah, that is my agenda. I think it's important that we can do anything we want to do, really, if you put your mind to it.
Yes.
You know, I do branding. Because I never had a lot of money when I started up,
Yes.
and we've not had major investment yet. But we've been close to it on a number of occasions. For example, last year, I'll tell you the story first. I started off with a loan of £4,000 from the Prince's Trust.
Yeah.
And basically, I kind of just started everything from then, thinking outside the box.
So the natural hair blogs and forums, these have helped to galvanize the natural hair movement and giving small entrepreneurs such as yourself opportunity not previously available, as you just mentioned.
Yeah.
What has been the secret, or what is, hang on a second, the secret of your success? That's a powerful thing, because if you give the secret now, everybody's going to take it. I heard that someone recently was sacked from Kentucky Fried Chicken, and they posted on Facebook, "These are the secrets of the Colonel." Okay. So what is your secret, even though there's a disclaimer there if you want, what is the secret of your success?
I think it generally is sheer passion.
Yes.
It really is passion, because you haven't got passion, you can't do this. It's not an easy business to get into. And anyone can mix a shea butter and put it in a jar and call it a product, but when you spend time, and I spent years researching how to make things, researching ingredients, reading reports on shampoos, on how things affect the hair and that type of thing, and I'm a Christian, so I believe in God.
Yes.
So to me, it comes down to a purpose thing too. So when you're given a message quite clearly to do something with hair and help people to love their hair with products too, it kind of gives us a USP.
Yes.
You know, I genuinely care about people's hair. I don't just sell you a product. I get tons of emails every week from moms, and I answer them all because I know what it's like to have a child at home who maybe doesn't like their hair, and I'm like, if she could just see the beauty in her hair, no matter how short the hair is, she can reveal. If you as a parent can say to your child, you know what, I'm the caretaker of your hair now.
Yes.
By the time you get to say 12, 13, 14, I'm giving you these tools to break the bad hair cycle in our society, to manage your hair, to have it long, to have it short, to have it out, to have it looking healthy. She'll be able to do anything in this world. So that's my gift to my daughter.
In light of what you just said then, what are your opinion then in the significant changes in attitude towards natural hair in the last few years? What would you say has been any changes?
Well, I've always had natural hairs,
Rather,
so to me, I think it's fantastic that women are embracing what's naturally theirs.
Yes.
You know, I see women who have really thin, relaxed hair and have transitioned. That means you stop using the relaxer and now have full, thick Afro hair they didn't even know they had, simply because their mum had relaxed their hair since age 6 or 7 or 8, so they never even knew the quality of their hair. So I think it's a magical thing.
Yes.
But in the same breath, in terms of someone who owns a natural hair company, I see a lot of the larger brands, like for example, I won't mention any names, but larger brands who are trying to jump on our bandwagon.
Yes.
I've been blogging for years. I write articles for Black Hair Beauty magazine for a long time. So I've been trying to get black women to notice their hair for many years. But you see brands who have £1 million marketing budgets and just throwing products out there and putting all the money with the bloggers and paying them to do whatever. And basically they monopolize that market. And I'm thinking, so how do I get a look in? I just have to stay integral to what I do and hopefully believe that the loyalty my customers have to my brand, it remains that way, because I genuinely care about their hair and I wouldn't put anything out product-wise that I don't use myself.
So therefore that is the passion factor which is going to be driving you as well.
I think so. It's integrity of quality of products and ingredients and the passion as well.
Well, tell us about your products then. I mean, can see some products here.
We have a range of products here for children and also for adults too. So you have the #1 selling honey rain juice, detangler, and everybody needs to have that in their house. If you have thick hair, relaxed hair, worried about knots and tangles.
I still think you're discriminating against the bald-headed man then.
Well, I have something for him too. I mean, the first one I came up with was a Root Energizer. That's my baby. That's my first ever product I actually launched. Yep, Super Growth Root Energizer. That's the one for ladies who have alopecia, that stimulates hair growth, and you have moisturizers, shampoos, conditioners. But everything here I created myself in my kitchen at home while the kids were sleeping.
And the book?
The book is a new thing. It's basically our hair care guide for anyone who has a child with mixed race or Afro hair textures. I started doing workshops in foster care agencies about 6 years ago, and I used to get asked the same questions over and over again. So I thought, right, just put it into a book. And I started writing hair books years ago, but never finished them. So I thought,
who knows, maybe it might become
in
a manual or so in the magazines, if anything. Or
I'd love it to be. Yeah, we're thinking of that. So.
Well, listen, that's fantastic. Now, before you go, Sal, I want to thank you so much, but what would you say is your quote or your driving word, you know, the quotation, that mantra that drives you? I know you mentioned passion, but what drives you? What is that word that you leave with our visitor or
I think
viewers?
It's, in all honesty, is you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
So just harvest when you're meant to, and you will reap what you sow, and don't forsake your future because you don't see things happening quickly.
Yes.
So it really is about waiting and harvest and reaping.
Listen, Sal, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Sal so much for joining us. And of course, more questions by Sal and information about Root2tip and where to purchase products, do visit us at our website, silburn.com. And we have our self-development coach, Chris Brown, coming up, and he'll be answering viewers' questions. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share on our YouTube channel, and comment on our Twitter page.
My name is Sal. I'm the director of Root2tip Hair Care, and I've been on the Silburn Show. So please do watch the episode, and don't forget to subscribe. It's a great show and really inspiring.